Hey all, just setting up live here. Everything's going through. Let's make sure my settings are all right. Should be there. Cancel. Cool. Well, I get questions about 3D printing, going live, the whole thing. So what I thought I'd do is sort of show you what's going on. Right now, I use a bunch of different slicers. People have asked me about different slicers. And right now, I use Lychee, or I'm using Lychee for this one. This is actually from a failed print. So I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up new supports. These were light supports. I'm going to set them up. I'm just doing auto supports. I'm going to set them up on medium, not light. I think maybe the light supports were just too fine for my printer and everything pulled off. So I'm redoing this. Slicing is one of the toughest things about printing. So what slicing is doing is when you do a 3D print, if you don't know, what happens is you can see this line going up there. That's actually the slice, and that is how a 3D printer works. It prints a very, very thin slice of your model. Now, it can't print in midair, so that's why you have to have supports. This guy actually printed all right last time, so I'm going to, it was under medium supports, I'm going to redo them anyway. Never hurts to have too many guns, all right? One of the pieces that did print all right was over here. I pulled him off. So I'm generating support, so we have to make sure there are no what they call islands. Islands are where the printer tries to go in basically tries to print in air. And it just, honestly, it just doesn't work. There we go. So we have to go through and we have to generate all these friggin' supports. Let's see, generate auto supports, yes. So I'm taking out all the light supports that I did and putting back in medium because everything fell off, basically. And then I'm going to have to go in and make a few changes on my print settings. So when you're using resin, it uses light to basically harden a layer of resin, and then it goes to the next layer and the next layer. So let's go around here. These guys. Let's go back to medium supports. Come on. Generate automatic supports. Why isn't it doing it? Because my underpowered computer is stuck. All right. There we go. All right. So I know this is not the most exciting live stream out there, but I thought I'd put up some content just to see how things are going. All right, let's keep going. Media. There we go. So while I'm doing all this, I also got a question I haven't answered is, well, why a life unusual? Is there any meaning to my screen names on both TikTok and here and on Instagram? And the answer is yes, there is. I started because I've done things that a lot of people haven't done in their life. I was an archaeologist for about 10 years in Central America, actually over 10 years, over a decade. And what many people don't do, which I got to do, is I got to go running through the jungle looking for lost temples and abandoned cities. And honestly, I found a lot of them. Found some whole cities. Definitely a few haunted temples. Okay, so they're not actually haunted, but hey, they sort of feel like they're haunted. I've come face to face with jaguars, 6-foot extremely poisonous snakes, looters even. That's always fun. And although Belize, where I spent most of my time and where my project was located, is generally a very safe country, it's not completely safe, and, you know, had firearms pointed at me before. In Mexico, too. Oh, that was fun also. So, yeah, I did the whole Indiana Jones thing. And this channel was originally meant to talk about, archaeology and modifying my truck for off-road and overlanding adventures, maybe my four-wheel drive Sprinter van adventures, but it's really turned into 3D printing, and maybe a little social commentary here and there, because honestly, a lot of the stuff I see online is just it's disgusting. There are a lot of creators who are just treated horribly by trolls simply for the reason that, hey, when you're on the internet, you're relatively anonymous, and so you can do whatever the fuck you want, and I don't think that's right. I see it often, especially in the with members of the alphabet mafia. I always forget how many actual letters go there. LGBTIA plus something. I don't know. The letters keep changing. So that's why I like the alphabet mafia so much. It's interesting that I follow a bunch of creators who are who fall into that category for whatever reason. And you know, I don't know if that says something about me or it says something more about the people I follow, or probably says absolutely nothing at all. You know, a good, 10% of the population is gay, and someplace around 1 to 5% is trans. So is it unusual that a lot of the people I follow are either gay or trans? Probably not. It's probably just the way things go. So here, while I was rambling on, I added another intercessor body in here simply because, hey, I've got some spare room on my plate. So I'm going to go here, and it's always good when you set these things up to not stand them up like this. You want the supports to be more or less on the back. So I'm doing about negative 45 degrees, so it's laying on its back. Come on. Negative 45. Boop. There we go. And now I need to move it to the right place. We're going to move here. And now I can generate supports from the beginning. So you were just seeing me modifying supports. So I'm going to actually generate them now. So I go up to the support setting here in Lychee. If my laptop lets me do this. So I am both streaming and doing 3D work on a AMD powered laptop. It's actually, I'm sort of surprised that it actually works. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to put a raft under here so the supports have something to stick to. And I like this one, mainly because some of the pre-supported models that I have use this. There we go. You notice he's off. I'm going to have to move things around. I'm going to go back over here, and I am going to go to generate the automatic supports again, as it's thinking. Now I'm going to have to move everybody so he's on the plate. All right. So we basically have a captain with a bolt rifle, which printed, by the way, but we're going to try it again, and a knife. So we're going to go back to layout. I'm going to move. Like I said, I'm just reprinting these guys because you can never have too many guns. That's sort of my motto in life. You can never have too many guns. So there you go. Anyway, I was talking about trolls, and you know, remember my mother always telling me, this probably dates me, if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. Of course, the anonymous nature of the internet enables people to sort of like do away with that and say whatever they want without repercussions. So that allows them to be cruel, uncaring assholes. And it's not right. So for years, I taught anthropology, mostly physical and archaeology. So I did a lot of stuff with genetics and evolution and this guy back so he's on the plate. Genetics, evolution, but I also did a lot of cultural stuff too. And so one of the things that we learn, or I teach in anthropology, is that things like race and gender are social constructs, cultural constructs. That is, they have no biological basis. Sex has a biological basis, but that's different. Sex has to do with the number of your chromosomes, your X and Y chromosomes. So are you chromosomally male or chromosomally female? That's sex. Okay, gender is how we view ourselves or how others view us. In the terms of archaeology, gender is either self-identified or other-identified. Most of the time in our culture, gender is other-identified. Matter of fact, that's how it has traditionally been in almost all cultures. So somebody else determines what your gender is. You don't. So it looks like we got this all the plates set in here. Sexuality is, of course, different from either sex or gender. Sexuality or sexual preference determines who turns you on, what you enjoy, what you are attracted to. Usually who, but it's sometimes what. We won't go into that. The problem is that there are people out there, trolls, people on the internet, who find that unacceptable. They can't just allow people to live the life that they want to. After all, I know a lot of trans people. I've never known them to hurt anybody. Never. Not once. It's amazing. They're just like normal people. Know a lot of gay and lesbians too. You know what? Same thing. Being gay or lesbian or being trans does not make you a child predator, by the way. Do you know who are child predators? Child predators. Okay, this all looks good. So people think that the anonymous nature of the internet lets them lash out at people that are different from them. And a lot of those people are ones that are in the alphabet mafia. And I find it simply unacceptable. I have to go back to my printer here. I'm going to change this. We had some definite issues here. So my lifting speed, I'm going to drop down to 50. And my lowering speed after, I'm going to get up to 165. You know what? I'm going to try 45 and 170. And I had my layer cure time at 1.4. And also, although on the tests that we have here, 1.4, which was this guy, came out at the best. I'm I'm going to bump it back up to 1.6. I think it was acceptable, and I think it'll work better. So let's take that out to 1.6. So this is the problem, or the fun, or the hobby nature of 3D printing, is that there's a lot of fiddling. This is really not ready for prime time yet. It's not like you can have one of these. It's not like a Keurig where you can stick a pod in on the machine on your countertop in your kitchen and get a cup of coffee out of it. I wish you could put a pod of resin in a countertop machine, load a file, hit it, and it would print perfectly. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way right now. All right, so I went through, we got our preview, and now we're going through and going to export this, and which means I have to slice it, so it has to take that model and build slices out of it. It's like how if you want to assemble a loaf of bread, you take every slice of bread and put it together and build it up. All right, so here we go. Export slices to file, and I'm going to say intercessor. I have absolutely no idea how to spell intercessor on the desktop. You can see I have a few files here. All right, so that's probably it. And as this works away, I'll see you later. And hopefully on TikTok, we'll have a finished product. Talk to you all later. Bye now.